War. When you hear that word, you probably think of history books, right? Big, epic conflicts. But what if the most important battles you'll ever face aren't on some dusty field? What if they're in the office, on the basketball court, or shoot, even just inside your own head? Today, we are diving deep into one of the oldest, most legendary strategy guides in the world, Sun Tzu's The Art of War, to figure out how its ancient wisdom can help us win smart, right here in the 21st century.
Okay, let that one sink in for a second. This quote right here, it's the foundation for literally everything we're about to talk about. Sun Tzu is saying that victory isn't about luck, it's about intel. It's about knowing your own strengths and weaknesses, your opponents, and the situation you're both in. Without that, you're not strategizing, you're just gambling. You're walking in blind.
Exactly. The whole idea of a battlefield has totally changed, hasn't it? We're not talking about soldiers and castles anymore. Conflict is just a part of modern life. It can be a high-stakes business deal or even a dumb argument on social media. And the crazy thing is, the core principles for navigating all that stuff wisely, yeah, they really haven't changed at all.
All right, so before we can start using its lessons, we gotta ask the basic question. What exactly is the art of war? Because it's so much more than just an old book. It's a whole philosophy on how to handle conflict.
Just try to wrap your head around this. This is a text that's been studied for 2,500 years. It's from the same time as legendary thinkers like Confucius. Now, we think it was written by a general named Sun Tzu, which just means master son. Some folks think it might have been a team effort, a collection of wisdom, but honestly, it doesn't really matter who wrote it. What matters is that for centuries, its ideas on strategy have been a secret weapon for leaders.
And this is where it gets real for us, right now. Think about a tough negotiation at work, or trying to outsmart an opponent in a video game. Get this, the coach of the Brazilian soccer team that won the 2002 World Cup, he literally gave every player a copy of The Art of War. It even applies to that internal battle we all fight against procrastination. These are our battlefields today.
Okay, so now we get to the core, the absolute heart of the philosophy. And it's kind of paradoxical, so stick with me. Sun Tzu's goal isn't really to teach you how to be a better fighter. It's to teach you how to win without having to fight at all.
This is such a huge idea. Think about the difference between a chaotic brawl and a chess master who calls checkmate. The winner isn't decided by who's stronger, but by who did their homework. It's all about preparation and planning. It's intelligence over brute force. The idea is to set up the board so that before you even make your first move, you've already practically guaranteed you're going to win.
And this quote just nails it. A messy win, where everybody gets beat up, that's not real success. The true master strategist doesn't just win the fight. They make the fight totally unnecessary. They outthink and outmaneuver their opponent so completely that the other side just has to say, okay, you win. That's excellence.
So you're probably wondering, how do you actually do that? Well, Sun Tzu gives us a playbook, a hierarchy. First, don't attack the enemy, attack their plan. In business, that means outthinking their strategy. Next, you go after their alliances. Think about disrupting a competitor's key partnerships. Only after that do you even think about attacking their army, their resources. And the absolute last resort, attacking a city. That's like a full-on price war where everybody loses money. You want to win with everything intact, not burn the whole place down. Okay, so we've got the philosophy down. But what about the actual tactics? Well, we can pretty much boil down all of Sun Tzu's practical advice into 3 essential pillars that you can use in almost any situation.
Pillar number 1 is preparation. And yep, we're circling right back to that first quote. It's a simple 3-point checklist. First, know yourself. Be totally honest about what you've got, your skills, your resources. Second, know your enemy. What are they good at? Where are they weak? And third, know the battlefield. What's the environment you're both operating in? If you're missing any one of those 3, your strategy's got a huge hole in it.
Now, pillar number 2 is deception. This is all about controlling what your opponent thinks is going on. It's about playing a bit of a mind game. For example, Sun Tzu says, when you are perfectly capable of doing something, act like you're not. Let them underestimate you.
And when you're right on their doorstep, about to make a big move, you make them think you're focused on something a million miles away. Total misdirection.
And finally, when you're actually putting your plan into motion, you make it look like just another Tuesday. Business as usual. See, the whole point of all this is to keep them off balance, to create that element of surprise so you can strike when and where they least expect it. You get a massive head start before they can even figure out what's happening.
And that brings us to our third and final pillar,
Adaptability. I love this one. The saying goes, no plan survives contact with the enemy. Things are going to change. Your opponent is going to react. You have to be like water. Water has no shape. It takes the shape of whatever contains it. If you're too rigid, you'll just break.
This idea of being adaptable leads to a really cool tactical principle. Always fight downhill. It's about using the natural momentum of a situation to your advantage. You're not trying to push a boulder up a hill. You're letting gravity do the work for you. But what does that actually look like today?
So here's a perfect example. Imagine a game of squash. Fighting downhill here means first, you make sure you're not vulnerable. You play solid defense, keep the ball in play, don't take any dumb risks. You just wait. You wait for your opponent to make a mistake, to hit a weak shot. That is their moment of vulnerability. That is when the ground tilts in your favor. And that's when you strike. You adapt your attack to their weakness.
So we've talked a ton about external strategy, right? How to handle your opponent. But Sun Tzu argues that maybe the most important battleground of all is the one going on inside your own head. To lead anyone else, you first have to master yourself.
He points out these 5 fatal character flaws, these traps a leader can fall into. Recklessness, you'll be destroyed. Cowardice, you'll be captured. A hot temper, it means you're easily provoked and manipulated. Being too worried about your honor makes you easy to shame into a bad decision. And get this, even being too concerned about your people can make you worried and indecisive. It is all about finding that perfect balance.
This is such a perfect modern example. Think about a YouTuber who gets sucked into flame wars in the comments section. What's really happening? They're being provoked by trolls. They're falling right into the hot-tempered trap, wasting all their time and energy fighting these pointless battles that achieve absolutely nothing. They're being played.
All right, so we've looked at the big philosophy, the core pillars, and the internal mindset. Let's bring it all home. How do we take the conflicts in our own lives and turn them from chaotic messes into a genuine art form?
So what's the path to victory? According to Sun Tzu, it's not about aggression. It's about wisdom. It's winning before the fight even starts because you were better prepared. It's using your brain, not just your brawn. It's being adaptable, formless, like water. It's mastering your own emotions. And when you can do all of that, conflict stops being this ugly, chaotic thing, and it really does become an art.
And that's the question I want to leave you with. Think about the challenges you're facing right now, in your career, with a project, a personal goal. Are you just pushing forward with brute force, just fighting hard and hoping for the best? Or are you taking that step back, preparing, calculating, and looking for the intelligent path? Because the art of war teaches us one thing above all. It's not just for generals. It's for anyone who wants to win smart.